He just found that the clothes he was wearing were the same as those worn by the welder across the street. He blocked the door while the welder was using the toilet. Then he put on a worker's helmet, carried a ladder, and walked out of the treatment area pretending to be calm. Seeing the attending doctor behind him walking towards him, he immediately climbed onto the engineering vehicle parked at the door. He didn't dare to show his face until the engineering vehicle completely drove out of the gate of the mental hospital. It turned out that the man was a game developer in a software company. Just because he had some ideological conflicts with his boss, he was framed by his boss and locked up in a mental hospital. The boss also took away the game he had worked hard to develop. During this period, the man tried to play. He called the police for help. But when the police asked him if he was a doctor or a mental patient, he could not prove that he was a normal person. He tried to escape with other patients many times, but they were caught in the end. It was not until the hospital was renovated that he had the opportunity to disguise himself as a decorator and escape from the gate of the mental hospital. After regaining his freedom, he immediately returned home to visit his father, but his brother blamed him for running away secretly. Soon, the community staff also rushed over after hearing the news and strongly demanded that he return to the mental hospital for treatment. Just when his father was arguing with the community, the director of the mental hospital also came. He ignored everyone and pushed open the man's room. As a result, he found that the man had escaped from the window. The man had come to the company where he worked before. He wanted to ask his colleagues to sue the boss with him, but he found that the game model he developed was still being reused. He thought that his colleague had betrayed him and sold the man's game model to the company. He began to look for his colleague. The boss appeared at this time and asked the man to call his colleague, but the man said that his colleague had changed his number. The man didn't want to pay attention to the boss. He just wanted to quickly ask his colleagues to go to the court with him. Strangely, the colleague who was there just now could not be found now. The boss saw that he was very confident and prepared to hit him again. The boss asked the people around him to tell the man that a mental patient had no independent civil capacity. That is to say, the man was not even qualified to sue. The man collapsed and cursed the boss for being a mental patient. Then he continued to look for his colleagues, but was stopped by the boss. The boss called up the company's surveillance video. Strangely, there was no one else in it except the man himself. It turned out that the colleagues he saw were all his imaginations from beginning to end. Looking at the pictures in the surveillance, the man began to doubt whether he was really sick. So he stopped resisting treatment and returned to the mental hospital. Do you think the man is mentally ill?